Your health journey with the health insights and information from the specialists. For more information, visit gleneagles.com.sg.
Wake up.
Wake up!
Wake up!
Get up.
You get out of bed this instant.
And turn it on. Glenn, Angel, and the Flying Dutchman. The Big Show on Kiss 92.
Good morning, Singapore. Welcome to Good Morning Doctor. Our doctor for this morning is Dr. Harish Mithiran, Thoracic Surgeon from Gleneagles Hospital. Good morning, Harish.
Good morning, guys. Thank you for having me today.
Good morning, doctor. Okay, so we're going to talk about smoking. No, or lung cancer, or both.
Lung cancer. You can talk about smoking too.
So let me throw that question out immediately. The topic is, does smoking cause lung cancer? So does it?
Of course it does.
Okay, because we were discussing it this morning. We saw the topic and we're like, oh, don't tell me he's going to come in and debunk that myth.
No, I think I'll be out of a job if I do that.
But Harish, can I call you
Yes,
Harish?
you can.
The rest of them will call you Doctor.
Oh,
I'll
wow,
call you Harish. Okay, so what else causes lung cancer?
All right, so look, all the data from all these many years, people have proved that lung cancer is caused by smoking. So that has been set in our minds that, okay, if you smoke, you'll get lung cancer. The unfortunate thing is that that's actually sort of a myth, because even if you don't smoke, you can get lung cancer. And especially in Singapore and in the Asian population, a good 45% of, because we don't have a big smoking population in Singapore, but a good 45% of our patients who get lung cancer are never smokers.
Oh, wow.
At all?
I'll use the
Oh
word
my
never
God.
means never picked up a single cigarette.
But
we've
do
got
they-
non-smokers and we've got never smokers.
Do they do secondhand smoking, you reckon?
Well, it's a combination of many factors, but one of the main things right now we've discovered is actually especially in females, Asian, above 40 years old, we've discovered a mutation in the gene.
No.
Yeah, unfortunately we have, and this is very predominant in the Asian group, that means from China, Taiwan, India, Singapore, Malaysia, Philippines.
Oh, wow.
So you're saying it's a genetic thing, not an environmental issue, right?
No. There are many factors along the
Okay.
way, but one of the biggest factors we've discovered is this mutation in the gene.
Okay.
And the mutation, sometimes it's not passed down, it's actually just mutated in this generation.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And it's got nothing to do with it's got nothing to do with secondhand smoke. Or it could be a factor. As
So,
well.
when we give an answer to what causes it, unfortunately, we can't just say A equals to B equals to C. It's
Yeah.
a combination of many factors. And when you look at it, people have then attributed it and hypothesized that even cooking with the wok,
Okay.
right, the fumes from that can develop that.
Oh, wow.
wow.
Jaw sticks.
Oh
right?
my
Because we
goodness.
go to temple,
Smoke as well, yeah.
That's equivalent to almost smoking a pack a day if you're there constantly having
Right.
all the jaw stick fumes there.
Yeah.
What about pollution?
Of course, that's a big factor. But
Big factor.
in general, if it's pollution, everybody gets it, right?
Yeah.
And how come some certain people are more susceptible and some people are not? That's the question we're still trying to figure out. But where we've discovered is that mutation in the gene for certain individuals.
For women especially.
Wow.
you said.
It's kind of focused in that group, but
Yeah.
men too have this mutation. And there are many types of mutation. There are almost like 50 to 70 different types of mutation. But the most common one is this EGFR mutation.
Right. What signs should we be looking out for? Let's continue this conversation on The Big Show TV. We are speaking to Dr. Harish Mithiran, Thoracic Surgeon at Gleneagles Hospital on Good Morning Doctor. Up next, BB Rexa. Here's Heart What It Wants. Heart what? What?
Heart
wants what it wants.
Here's BB Rexa on Kiss 92.
Good morning, Glenn.
You need an eye check.
I think all
coffee.
these new songs, it's hard.
Yeah.
It is.
Titles of the songs are like
I mean, there
not
are three
simple
W's.
anymore.
Yeah.
It's like Heart wants what
What
it
it
wants.
wants, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you got it now. Okay.
I was driving here and listening to you guys, and you put up "Pump Up the Jam."
Yeah.
That's why we were also
That's an old song made new.
we were talking about the Gen Zers saying, "Oh my gosh, this song is hot."
So fresh.
Yeah.
Okay, so the signs to look out
Yeah.
for, doctor.
Okay. The unfortunate thing, lung cancer, when you start getting symptoms, it may be late. So cancer is called the silent killer because it really is silent. At the early stages, almost everybody is asymptomatic or does not have any symptoms. Now, of course, we all study, we say people can present with cough, weight loss, loss of appetite, and if you start coughing out blood and things like that, that can be an indication. But in general, most patients that present early, it's just
Nothing.
Nothing.
So how do you detect it when you say present early? Is it a scan?
Yes, you're
Okay.
absolutely right.
And what do
Angel.
you see on that scan?
So what we do is we actually don't do... So X-rays are not screening tools.
Okay.
So we need to do something called a low-dose CT scan. And a low-dose CT scan basically can look really in detail at our lungs. And what we look for is we look for nodules, nodules or something called ground glass opacity. It looks like a ground glass discoloration in the lung, and then we can pick that lesions up. And generally, they present at that level at early stages.
Wow.
So if that's the case, should we, whether we're smokers or not, because it's not necessarily smoking, should we be going for regular lung
Scans.
screenings
Yes.
in our lives?
Yeah, absolutely right. So we got to balance the benefits and the pros and the negatives of
Yeah.
it. So when you do a CT scan, you're exposed to radiation, right? So, but that's why we've got this low dose CT scan now, where the radiation levels are very low. And what we recommend actually, I mean, there's no actual guidelines. But we've been to many conferences and we tell people, look, we know the groups that we can catch it early. So anybody between 40 to 45, if you're a non-smoker, you should get one low-dose scan is what we recommend right now. It's not in any guidelines, but it's what doctors actually prescribe nowadays. Now, as we progress, then if you're a smoker, then yes, we definitely need to get one check, and then maybe we could do one every 5 years.
Okay.
Right, for a
Okay.
follow-up.
Right.
This includes like people who need to go for their scopes for colon cancer and for, they do scopes every once in 5 years. It's so important to catch all these early.
Would you categorize a smoker and someone who lives with a smoker in the same category?
Almost close.
Okay,
Yeah,
all
because
right.
it depends how considerate the smoker is. You need to smoke outside the house and really smoke far away. Right? If you smoke within the balcony, the fumes and stuff, people are still smelling it. Right? So,
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Daphne, any questions?
We actually got quite a few questions on our Facebook for the Big Show TV, and one of them was asking, Prashant was asking, given the complex nature of long COVID, is there a specific diagnostic test for it, and does long COVID increase the risk of lung cancer, and what are your thoughts on the use of multidisciplinary approaches to diagnosis and treatment? Wow,
Okay.
there what a full consult with you.
10 questions in there.
I'm going to start with MDT. MDT is the core of what we do as doctors. MDT is multidisciplinary team approach. So it's not only just the surgeon, it's the respiratory doctor, the oncologist. So when we look at a scan, we get a team together and we say, hey, what should we do? And we get all these 3-4 opinions at one go, and then we produce something. So an MDT decision is very important, and that's the way of the future, what we should do. Now, with regards to long COVID, COVID only started in the year 2000. So people started getting long COVID, picking it up only in maybe 2021, 2022. So we really don't have any data of the effects of long COVID causing any cancer right now. As now, COVID has been an infection, but it causes scarring in the lungs. And if people are really bad, they get scarring in the lungs. But will that cause cancer? We don't know. We don't have the data. So
What does that mean actually when you say scarring in the lungs?
Okay, think about it this way. If you fall down and you bump yourself
Yep.
and you scratch your skin, you get a wound, and that heals by scarring, right?
Okay.
And so you get a bump on your skin.
Okay.
Likewise, when the lung gets bruised or any organ gets bruised, it gets scarring.
Okay.
And it forms this like whitish discoloration in the
Okay.
lung.
And how is that bad?
It's not bad.
scar
It's just
tissue.
bruising. It will recover
Okay.
with time, all right?
Right.
But if you do a scan, sometimes you can pick up some dots here and there, some areas of what we call atelectasis or scar tissue.
Right.
And generally you just say, okay, we'll just follow this up.
Does that affect your breathing, having scar tissue in your lungs?
It depends on the extent of the scar. So generally when we get an infection, a pneumonia, something like that, it kind of resolves. So you
Not
generally-
really?
Not really.
So the scarring happens because of the coughing, the constant coughing? Is that what it is? Because my
so-
husband had long COVID
Yeah.
and then went for a scan.
Yeah.
And then he was told that he had scarring on the lungs.
Yeah.
So is that, he didn't have anything else like a
So
bruise.
When you so the reaction of the infection in the lung causes damage to the lung.
Okay.
And then that causes the scarring. And yes, when you cough, you actually have a lot of pressure
Yeah.
put on the lung that can rupture some small blood vessels inside. So people cough out blood sometimes.
Oh.
Right?
Oh, right, okay.
And then the blood to heal, it heals by blood clot formation, and then the body takes over and then tries to seal off that thing.
Okay.
So
okay.
which is why when people cough for a long time and they cough really, really hard and they can't stop coughing.
Yeah.
That's not good because
That's
it puts a
putting
lot
pressure.
of pressure on the lung.
Yeah, I've heard people break ribs. I've seen people break ribs.
Oh yeah, a
From
friend of mine
coughing.
broke his ribs.
Oh, wow.
From coughing?
From coughing.
Yeah, from
Yes.
coughing, yeah, it's
He had
possible.
this cough that just wouldn't go away.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
He's got to get that checked.
Yeah, no, this was years ago.
Okay.
He's okay.
Right,
He's still alive.
Okay, we'll talk about what treatments are available to treat lung cancer when
Okay.
we come back on air.
Okay, stand by.
Kiss 92 traffic.
You've got the usual delays across the expressways this morning. That shouldn't surprise you too much. The CTE towards the SLE, a vehicle broken down before Ang Mo Kio Avenue 3. The BKE towards the PIE, an accident after the KJE exit. Avoid lane 2. Please stay within the speed limit. Have everyone buckled up. Be safe as you drive today.
Welcome back to The Big Show and The Big Show TV. It's a lovely Wednesday morning, nice and warm out there. We have in the studio, nice and cool in here, Dr. Harish Mithiran, Thoracic Surgeon from Gleneagles Hospital. Such a wonderful thing to have you here today.
Cheers. Thank you for having me, guys.
Okay, thanks so much for coming in. We're talking about smoking and its affiliation with lung cancer. And you were talking earlier about how smoking is not the only cause of lung cancer. So to further that topic, what are some of the treatments that are available to treat lung cancer?
Okay, so if I can go through all the 4 stages. And so basically the first thing we do is if we pick it up early, the gold standard of care right now is surgery. So the idea is you find something there, it's an early stage, we cut it out, all right? And how do we do this process? Those days, we used to make big, huge cuts, and people used to call it the futile thoracotomy, or the big cut, because patients actually recover very poorly.
Right.
But
Because you lose part of your lung.
not only that, they have to have a big cut, if they cut through big muscle and stuff, so the recovery is
and the
really bad, the
yeah.
healing. But with the advent of technology, we've started doing these things through keyhole surgery called VAT surgery, VATS, right? And now we've like everything else is going digital. We've digitalized surgery. We're using a robot right now. But that doesn't mean the robot's doing the operation. The surgeon's doing the operation. It's just that
Using a robot.
using a robot to do it. So, and all these are through small cuts on the chest. And we do that. We dissect the blood vessels, the artery, the vein, and also what we call the airway leading up to that part of the cancer lesion in the lung.
Yeah.
And then we remove it. And then we remove it through a small keyhole. That's
My
what we do.
goodness, where
Wow.
is the keyhole on the body?
So usually, I always tell people we make it on the side, so
side.
the bra line,
Okay.
on the side, and we make maybe 3 or 4 small cuts. They're about 5-10 mm in size.
Wow, so even the scarring post-surgery is super
The
minimal.
recovery is amazing. What used to take people 2 weeks to recover, patients are now going home after 3 to 5 days.
Oh my goodness, okay.
So it's very different standard of care right now.
So I have a question. So I had cancer when I was 25. I had ovarian cancer. And they had to open me all the way up in order to check for the spread, so what stage I was
Yes.
at. And then a couple of years later, someone I knew had the same germ cell cancer, very rare, but she managed to get keyhole surgery for it.
Yeah.
But I get different opinions from different doctors, like it would have been possible to do the keyhole surgery 10 years ago, and some schools of thought where it wouldn't have been safe 10 years ago.
So when people say, oh, I had lung cancer and I did it through a keyhole, and then some patients had lung cancer and I did it through open surgery, the first thing I want to get it clear to everybody is that the primary goal of the surgery is always to remove the tumor.
Of course.
The cut is secondary. Of course, we want to make a smaller cut. Now, it depends on the size of the tumor. It depends on...
So the larger incision that I had was not for to remove the tumor.
Okay.
It was just to check for
to
spread.
inspect. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So the tumor itself was a different surgery.
Okay.
I was cut open. I had a C-section to take
Right,
it out.
okay.
So a lot of doctors that I saw, second, third opinion, they were
Right.
like totally not necessary. But as someone that was 25 years old, I would never know when I was being consulted. He asked for my permission. He was like, if it is cancer, like 2% chance cancer, we have to open you up. I didn't study any medicine. I couldn't have said, oh, can you do keyhole instead? I wouldn't even know that that's a thing.
It's a bit tricky, definitely, to like, we need to see the whole picture actually before actually making a decision. So it's actually quite tough to make a call just to say, hey, what's done. Nowadays, though, I can make a call in 2023 where what we do is we always put the scope in first. And then we just inspect everything around. And we say, hey, this needs to be done open. It's not safe to do it by keyhole. Then we do it that way. So we always have the view first. The view. We can actually just put a camera in and look all around.
I
and
got
then go
it.
from there.
Okay.
I've got $1 million question for Harish when we come back on The Big Show TV. It is 8:16.
Kiss 92 Time Check brought to you by Putian.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just the scarring, right? I mean,
Well,
that could have been
anyone-
avoided.
Yeah, and because of that, many years, every
When
year.
was this?
This was in 2012.
Right. So it's definitely it's really complex. Sometimes you say, oh, he cut me open. I think what's the most important thing is the tumor out.
And I'm alive,
And
so
you're alive,
I'm.
and
But
you're well.
but I guess for me, it's more of like when people, in relation to like lung cancer and people doing checks and scopes, I think it's important that they know,
Yeah, yeah.
The
their
options.
Yeah.
Because if I had at least asked, then I would have given my doctor the option.
You're
you know?
absolutely right. So maybe information wasn't that clear back then. The internet was just evolving. Actually, it was.
No,
evolving
it
for
was
many
pretty.
years,
Yeah, it was way before that.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, so I think for me, and I think most surgeons today, what they will do is they'll look at the scans.
Yep.
And then what they'll say, look, most likely this is going to be open, but what we're going to do is we're going to put a camera in. We're going
No.
to take a look around, and then we'll say, okay, can we do this by keyhole or not? So I always give my patients, I always tell my patients, look, 95 or 90% of the time we can do this by keyhole. But if the tumor is 7 centimeters,
You have to
it's
cut
no
open.
point cutting making a small cut. How are you going to pull it out?
No, but again, this incision was not to
For
remove the
remove.
tumor.
It was to look around.
Yeah, like he was just taking out lymph nodes. So
Right. So I'm not sure. of
no,
what's going on.
Case by
I'm grateful.
case.
I'm grateful I'm alive. It's
Yes.
just that what can for the future for
Yeah.
anyone listening and tuning in now, I think do your research and ask questions.
Absolutely, I think,
rather than
and it's so important to get a second opinion, even a third opinion if you like.
yeah.
At the end of the day,
In my case, it was more like it had grown exponentially since they discovered it to
That's-
the
that's
day of the
worrying.
surgery. So he
That's
was like,
worrying.
"We're going in."
yeah, then that's
Yeah.
a fair reason to actually
To do the open.
because it's like we're gonna open anyway, so we might as well.
Yeah, he was trying to save my life, so I'm
I
not
think that's
mad about it.
important,
I just
yeah.
I want to give people like knowledge that I didn't have, going in.
I think at the end of the day, the primary goal is to take out the tumor. That's the primary goal we want to achieve.
Yeah. Okay, my $1 million question.
Yes.
Go for it.
And you've dealt with many smokers who, who have lung cancer and all that, but just refuse to stop smoking. Why is smoking so addictive, doctor?
Okay,
to the
so-
point where, if someone is diagnosed with lung cancer, they
Still
they
smoke.
practically just say, okay, fine. If I'm gonna go, I'm gonna go, but I'm gonna smoke till I go.
I've already got lung cancer, so
I'm going to go on my terms.
Yeah.
That's what they think.
It's literally my dad.
I think the big driver of addiction here is nicotine. So nicotine is a drug. It's
Yeah.
almost as strong as heroin or cocaine.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you know that when you stop smoking, the nicotine drive is there still in your body. The receptors need that stimulation, and so it cries for it, right? And so that's why it's so difficult to give up. It takes about 2 to 3 weeks for nicotine to actually completely wear out of your body. Now people also put patches, right, and
Yeah.
say that, but the problem is the power of affiliation. Affiliation. You have a beer, you want to smoke a
Yeah,
cigarette.
You have a meal, you want to smoke
You
a
go to
cigarette.
the bathroom, you want to go
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So that is what people need to break. Not so much of the addiction component, but that power of
The habit.
Yeah.
habit. Mixing, having a beer with that, having a
Coffee.
coffee with that.
Yeah.
That's what people need to break. That's the tough part, actually.
Yeah.
Is-
At one time, I mean, we used to think like people who smoke are dumb. They're not thinking about their families, about their own
Yeah.
health and stuff like that. But
It's
some
a
of the
very
most
selfish habit.
But some of the most powerful people in the world who are intelligent are smokers, like Barack Obama, for
Yeah.
example. He's still smoking.
Oh, really?
He's
till
a
today.
smoker?
Yeah. And a very heavy one.
And people always relate stress with needing a cigarette as well.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm feeling stressed out. I need to have a cigarette.
Yeah,
As if
but
that's
again,
going to relieve it.
That's the power of
Affiliation.
right? Yeah.
But okay, no. What I want to ask is: yes, nicotine is a drug, but is nicotine what causes the cancer, or what is in that cigarette? Because there are like 3,000 chemicals or whatever. It's like,
So it's-
what
that's-
is inside?
That's the one. So it's not nicotine that causes the cancer. It's that 7,000 different types of chemicals, and out of that, about 70 to 80 have been proven to be
Carcinogenic.
So carbon monoxide, arsenic, I don't know, this
Tar-
whole
there's
list.
tar as well.
tar. Can you imagine I'm sure you've seen the YouTube videos where they put cigarettes into a
Yeah.
bottle
Yeah.
and then they light it continuously.
Yes.
And then it's all this gunk there. That's
In your lungs.
Yeah.
that's going there. But the good thing is our body tends to clean, but if you keep on adding more and more, it gets tired of cleaning.
And
it
it'll just
gets
build it up.
stuck, right?
Yeah, but smokers just keep on smoking. They don't care. You know, even those
They-
horrible
they-
photos on
most-
the packages.
Package- Package, that's
people
not a
do, because
deterrent.
everyone always feels it's not going to happen to me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is the big thing.
But you also did say earlier on that Singapore does not have a huge
It's about 14 or
population of
15%.
smokers.
That's it.
Okay.
It's getting less and less because they make it now harder for smokers to smoke. Like the whole of Orchard Road, you can't. They put you in a little yellow box where you look like cattle in a cage.
Yeah.
You know, it's right now it's very uncool to smoke.
But you know what? It's very cool to vape.
Yeah.
Many people are
Yeah.
vaping now. So
Even though it's illegal.
Yeah, but
Exactly.
still people
Yeah.
are doing it.
I mean,
yeah.
obviously.
I mean, in other countries, it's fine.
What- what-
I'm just
what about
surprised to
vaping
see
then?
it, Yeah.
Yeah. Is that just as bad?
So yeah, vaping started off. I saw this documentary. It's on Netflix actually. I want to know where vape came from.
Okay.
Started from China.
Of
So
course.
this guy was a smoker and his dad died of lung cancer. He said, "Oh, I want to eliminate all the tar and nicotine." So he invented he vaporized nicotine. He said
Okay.
the problem was nicotine, so he vaporized that. The problem is right now is because it's not regulated, right? We don't know what's going inside.
yeah.
It can be rat poison for all we know.
Because when it first started,
Yeah.
it was pure nicotine. It was
Yeah.
almost like the patches.
Yes.
All you're getting is a dose
Yeah.
of nicotine.
Yeah.
But now it's all sorts of.
Because they have to mix it with some sort of vegetable oil for it to.
Ugh.
So whatever is liquid, it becomes vapor. It has to turn back to liquid or something, right?
Right.
It's not
Yeah.
going to remain vapor forever.
That's
not
true.
all our environment will be sticky, right?
Yeah.
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 So it's got to come back to a different form.
Form.
And where is that going to lodge?
yeah.
And again, we don't
Interesting.
have the data to say, hey, which is better, which is not.
And no one's actually
it's
done
still
tests on
Well,
the
you've
liquid.
eliminated the hydrocarbons and the tar. So maybe that may be better, but I'm not advocating it because it's equally going to be
Of course.
Addictive as well,
Addictive
yeah.
Of
as
course,
well,
of
you
course.
know.
Let's go on air once again.
Kiss 92 traffic.
Usual delays across the expressways. Look out for the BKE towards the PIE, an accident after the KJE. The CTE towards the SLE, a vehicle broken down after Ang Mo Kio Avenue 3. Please stay within the speed limit. Have everyone buckled up. Be safe as you drive today.
Good morning, Singapore. Welcome to Good Morning Doctor. And this morning we have with us Dr. Harish Mithiran, Thoracic Surgeon from Gleneagles Hospital. Now, Doctor, what's the hardest part when it comes to telling a patient of yours that they are down with lung cancer?
You put me on the spot already. That's the hard part. You're right. So breaking news is something that, it's tough. So how do we know it's cancer? Generally, at the end of the day, I think most patients actually, when they come to you and they look at it, they sort of already know. Everybody knows their own body. And when you talk to them, I think the idea is that you gotta say, hey, we are concerned about this. And people like to know the truth. People don't like to have things hidden from them, right? If I have cancer, I want to know I have cancer. And so when they come there and I look at the scan and they maybe just see my view of my face and I can tell them, I said, look, I'm worried. I would like to be proven wrong, but if it is, it is. And so I always tell them what is there can't be undone, but we can always move forward. And we can treat this and we can tackle it. And, let's get you better.
Right.
That's how we deal with this.
Can lung cancer be cured?
If it's the early stage, so like I said, the subgroup of patients have these things that ground glass opacity in the lung. These are something called minimally invasive adenocarcinoma. They're cancers, but they're so early. They're not even stage 1 yet. Well, we categorize as stage 1, but they're very, very early. They can be cured with a simple resection of the lung. And
Only stage 1?
only stage 1. So
Okay.
stage 1, even stage 1, they're 1A1, 1A2, 1A3. And then the numbers kind of drop. So it's like 1A1 is like 92% cure, 2% chance you can come back. 1A2 is, it starts dropping. The moment it goes to stage 2, the chances of it coming back is as high as 30%.
Wow.
If it goes to stage 3, the chances of it coming back is high as 50-60%.
Wow.
So some people have been smoking for like 40 years, 50 years
Yeah,
and
man,
stuff.
that's damn good genes, man.
What are the chances that if we go for a check,
Yeah.
everything is fine?
I've got I had a patient who's like 85 years old, smoked 2 packs a day. I mean, he's got lung disease in the sense that he's breathless and the lungs just
But no
destroyed,
lung cancer.
But no lung cancer.
Wow.
That's why
And,
people will say, you see these people drink and smoke all their lives and they live till they're 95.
Yeah. So everyone always chooses what they want to hear.
Right? And then you see people who are 45 who are like super healthy and then drop dead walking the streets or something,
Yeah, that's the.
It
life,
must be
isn't
tough
it?
for you guys as
It's
doctors.
difficult. I've seen young patients, 40 years old, 42, 45 years old, come in and it's late stage. And the wonderful thing is, like I mentioned to you, we've got medication right now. Maybe it's not surgically operable, but medication right now where we can give it to block this mutation in the gene. And I've seen the cancer. We do a PET scan and it lights up, and like a Christmas tree it lights up. And then you repeat a scan after that, this lighting up disappears.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I think we've evolved to a technology right now where what patients used to get stage 4 lung cancer and then it was 6 months. Now patients are living for 4, 5, 6 years.
Wow.
Right? So it's probably going to evolve with our evolution in medicine. I think cancer is going to be something where we have to live with it like a chronic disease. It's not going to be cured. I mean, stage 1 can be cured, stage 2 can be cured. But it's not going to be cured. But just like diabetes and high blood pressure, that used to kill people many years ago. Now
Yeah.
people are
It's
living
deal
with it.
with it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. The awareness as well.
Because
Yes.
of medication.
I just have one burning question. You were talking about this gene
Yeah.
that women seem to have more of and it's mutated and all that. Like Angelina Jolie has a gene in
Yeah.
her where she went to get a mastectomy to prevent herself from getting breast cancer. Can people detect this gene and then get this blocker so
Okay.
that lung cancer doesn't occur?
No. So you just can't take
can't-
this
okay,
pill,
all right, okay.
So what they do is when we take out or we get a biopsy of a lung specimen, we then look at that specimen, we send it for what we call molecular testing or biomarker testing, and then they look and say, was there a mutation in the gene here that caused this cancer? Then when we discover this mutation, we say, okay, now we give this drug here.
Right.
The drug's not cheap, huh? It's almost 5 digits a month, So,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, all right.
Not immunotherapy, right? It's a
So
different
the
kind of.
immunotherapy is one of
One of
those. One of those. What we call NGS, next generation sequencing, which tests for genes. So there are many ways we can treat this.
Okay. So what is the one thing you wish listeners will take away from today's interview, if they can remember anything?
One thing is lung cancer is not a cancer of the smokers. That's so important to know. It's the third biggest killer in women in Singapore. The number one biggest killer in male.
Wow.
Second most common in males, but the first killer in males. And if you are a non-smoker too, there is always a risk. You can develop lung cancer, so get screened. I think we need to send that message out. Just like how we do for breast cancer, we do regular screening mammograms. Colorectal cancer scopes. For lung, you need to get a low dose.
I need to spend like 3 days in the hospital just to get screened for everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everything.
I did my head to toe 6 months ago. I'm paranoid.
You're one of the rare doctors who are paranoid. Most of the other doctors I know don't care.
Do you do it every year?
No. I do mine every 4 or 5 years.
Okay.
But I just queued mine just 6 months ago.
Oh, good. But I mean, what a relief, right? After
Yeah, man.
screening.
Yeah.
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 We should all do that. We should all do
should,
that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Harish, for joining us today.
Thank
It's
you
been
so
a real
much, guys, for
pleasure.
having me. Seriously. Thank
Yeah,
you so much.
and you look
It's
very
amazing.
sharp today, by the way. Love the suit.
We've got
So
some
good.
comments. Is a surgeon? He's too good looking to be a surgeon. Love it.
Okay,
Thanks for
thank you so
being
much,
here.
Harish. Thank you very,
guys.
very
All
much.
right.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Thank you for tuning in to the Big
Thank you, guys. That's very nice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
awesome.
great.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Can we grab a photo?
Yeah.
Let's
course.
do
Over
over
there.
there by
Okay,
our
alright.
wall. Oh, you're sharing it with me.
Yep. Live on Facebook.
I think I'll just, if I really need to say something,
But that's okay.
you know, yeah.
So, Daphne, you're cured?
I'm 11 years in remission.
Amazing.
11 years, yeah. Thank you.
How did you pick it up?
I just had a weird allergic reaction to nothing, and I went to do like a full like pap smear, full scan, And as a girl, sometimes you get.
Facebook.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's fine. I'm very open about this story.
Left, right. Yeah.
Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Perfect.
Thank you. Send the photos.
Look, if you guys ever want to come over, grab a beer or something.
Grab a beer.
Oh, you said the magic word.
Thank you.
Beer.
That's not person and drink, right?
No,
I feel like we can hang out.
that's not. But if you guys need anything,
Yeah, for
drop me a
sure,
text,
for
alright?
sure. Thanks, Doc.
See you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right,
Take
bye,
care.
guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, we're waiting for the cast of and Juliet to come into the studio.
We're gonna kind of set it up.
Yeah, we've got Hayden T, who plays Lance, and Casey Donovan, who plays Angelique. It's made its Asian premiere in Singapore. It's currently ongoing at Marina Bay Sands. It's received 9 Tony nominations earlier this year. That's pretty spectacular. Includes all the music, well, some of the music from Max Martin. Music like Since You've Been Gone, Raw, Baby One More Time, Larger Than Life, That's the Way It Is, Can't Stop the Feeling, and so much more. So we're going to be speaking to Hayden and Casey. They're going to be coming into the studio, and we've got a real treat for you, actually. They're going to be singing as well. So, and Juliet opened at Marina Bay Sands Theatre last Thursday, and it goes on till the
Here they are!
15th of October. We are already live. Come on in. Come on in.
Wonderful.
All right. We have, should we call you Hayden T and Casey Donovan, or should we call you Lance and Angelique?
I've been called a lot worse.
You take your pick.
I answer to either.
You answer to anything. It's not that kind of show.
That's Hayden T, everybody, right there. And Casey Donovan.
Hi.
Okay. So we're looking forward to catching you guys in action.
Yeah.
I mean, I missed it on
Saturday,
Saturday.
yeah.
That's something on. But we will be catching you guys in
We
the
will
next week or so.
definitely, we'll definitely come in. How's it been going so far? Is this your first visit to Singapore?
It's my first visit to
Okay.
Singapore, and it's been absolutely amazing. I've loved every second.
Yeah, it's my second visit. I was here 9 years ago doing a play, and I love it here. And the audiences are wild. They're
Oh,
amazing.
wow,
The
okay.
joy, the love, so generous.
We
Nice.
heard nothing but good things about the play, so we're all very excited to go.
Can't wait to have you there.
So how was it on Saturday? It's big turnout. Very, very big turnout on
Sold out
Saturday.
crowd.
Yeah.
They loved
it was great.
Yeah, I think they opened on Thursday, and then Saturday was kind of
Was
like
yeah, it was it was a red carpet.
It was a red carpet event on Saturday. Yeah.
So we had our first preview for us is Thursday, so it's the first audience, and then we have our gala night or the opening night that is Saturday night. So it was kind of, it just got better and better and better and better, and I can't wait to get back on stage on Thursday night. And
You guys were not.
Ruckus. It was like traffic jam.
Oh my God! I was about to say. I was about to say because I was just next to the theater. It was someone's birthday, so I was there, and I could not get into the car parks.
Oh, wow.
They closed up
Well, there you
the
go.
car parks. I'm sure you
Getting
guys were a big reason for that. I was cursing and swearing, of course. Ended up.
So if you're going to go to MBS to watch Anne Juliet, don't drive.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, we're going on air.
No fighting, no fighting, no fighting.
No fighting.
Don't fight. All right. You're tuned into Kiss 92, all the great songs in one place. Our second group of guests this morning, we have the cast from Anne Juliet, Hayden T, as well as Casey Donovan.
Woo-hoo!
Good morning, guys.
Yay, good morning. Welcome to the studio.
So, and Juliet, everybody is raving about this. What's it about?
Well, it's about the story of what would happen if Juliet didn't end it all. And she goes on this beautiful journey of self-discovery, self-love, and also the trials and tribulations of what young love and life is all about. And it's this beautiful story, a beautiful love story, and a story of second chances and hope. And myself and Hayden get to play the what would you, the mature love
mature love story.
Yeah, the mature love story. We won't say old, but that love is timeless. You can fall in love and out of love at any age, and I get to play alongside Hayden, and we just absolutely have a ball every night. Being the more mature cast members, I find it's beautiful. I get to play the nurse / Angelique, who is I like to say, the fun aunt of the show to Juliet. And yeah, she also has a beautiful love story.
Yeah, we're very lucky. And the thing is, the music is amazing because it's music from Katy Perry, from Ariana Grande, the Backstreet Boys, Britney Spears.
Oh.
It's like a pop concert in there, and it's the spectacle that they've created on that stage with the revolves that go up and down, and pyrotechnics and projections and LED screens. It's wild.
And that's part of the magic, isn't it? Hits that everyone can relate to, hits that everyone loves.
Can sing along to.
Yeah.
And they do.
And
Exactly.
it weaves so beautifully within the storyline. Something will be happening on scene, whether it's a beautiful love scene or, a sad scene, and then a song will happen, and the audience reaction is hilarious. Where we'll all be sitting on stage doing something, and the audience will erupt with or just everyone singing along. It really is. It's a pop concert with an amazing love story.
Yeah, I'm sure you've heard this over and over again, but everyone I've spoken to, of Court and Juliet, they've all given it a 10 upon 10.
Oh, yeah.
Seriously, everyone loves it.
I think everyone's sort of also grown up with the music of Max Martin. Everyone, even if you think you don't know the song and you're not a fan of a particular artist, you know the words.
Yeah.
So everyone's singing and dancing. On that note, what's your favorite song to perform in Anne Juliet? And I'm sure you have different choices.
Yeah. What, Hayden?
My favourite song to perform is probably Teenage Dream Break Free, but my favourite song to listen to is Effing Perfect, which Casey does every night, and I just get to sit backstage and listen to her absolutely slay.
And Casey, of course, for people who don't know, was the winner of Australian Idol.
I was, yes. Many, many years ago, almost 20 years ago now, back in 2004. I was 16. I was fresh. I was still in high school, so I've now been in this job for almost 20 years, and moving into musical theatre has been the best thing for me, and I get to work with amazing people and amazing cast members like Hayden, and it's just been an absolute dream. And who would have thought I'd ever be in Singapore performing one of possibly the best shows ever.
Ever. I love that.
And our very own Daphne Khoo was part of Singapore Idol.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I didn't win, but it was the same. 16, 20 years ago.
Wow.
Very similar story.
Goodness gracious, that's excellent.
But
Wow.
maybe I need to take a page out of your book and do the musical thing.
I would think so, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it's
All right,
fun.
I think we're going to move over to the Big Show TV. We've got Jessie J with Domino coming right up on Kiss 92. That's crazy.
Yeah, wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
And now I even more can't wait to watch this show. I'm like, this is what I should be doing. No, but I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be here with all of you.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Okay, so I think we've got the note that you're going to sing now.
do the
What are we
performance.
right.
Okay.
All right.
What are you guys performing today for us?
Today we're performing Teenage Dream.
Break Free, yeah.
Break Free, yeah.
My goodness.
Awesome mashup.
Should we
What a
give
treat.
a story background
What a
to
treat.
to the song? Or no,
Yeah,
no surprise. Let people watch it and figure out what the scene is about.
I think we could do a cheeky little setup.
Yeah, we could do, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's second chances at a love story many years
Yeah.
later.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let's
There we go. Amazing. You think I'm pretty without any makeup on. You think I'm funny when I tell the punchline wrong. I know you get me, so I let my walls come down. Down. Before you met me, I was alright, but things were kinda heavy. You brought me to life now every February. You'll be my Valentine. Valentine.
Let's go all the way tonight. No regrets, just love. We can dance until we die. You and I will be young forever. You make me feel like I'm living a teenage dream. So when you turn me on, I can't sleep. Let's run away and don't ever look back. Don't ever look back.
Plant, looking back is what brought me to your bed. If I look forward, I can only think of Juliet's future and how much she needs me.
Juliet is a big girl. She must be at least 14 by now.
She's in her 20s.
Caesar, you go.
And I'm supposed to stay here with you when I don't even know what's going on in your heart.
If you want it, take it. I should have said it before. I try to hide it, fake it. I can't pretend anymore. I only wanna die alive, never bite the hands of a broken heart.
I don't wanna hear you lie tonight, now that I've become who I really are. This is the part when I say I don't want you. I'm stronger than I've been before. This is the part when I break free, 'cause I can't resist it no more. This is
feel like
the
I'm
part
living
when I say I don't want you. I'm stronger than I've been before. This is
Let's
the
run
part
away
when I
and don't ever
break
look
free,
back. Don't
'cause I
ever
can't
look
resist
back.
it no more.
Heart stops when you look at me, just one touch. Now, baby, I believe this is real. So take a chance and don't ever look back. Don't ever look back.
Oh, baby!
This is the part when I say I don't want you. I'm stronger than I've been before. This is the part when I break free, 'cause I can't resist it no more. This is the part when I say I don't want you. I'm stronger than I've been before. This is the part when I break free,
'Cause I can't resist it no more.
Absolutely perfect. Ladies and gentlemen, Hayden T and Casey Donovan.
Oh my gosh. So amazing. Now we have to see it.
Okay, now,
That's just one song,
That's
you know,
just one song.
from the
But
musical.
emotion, you were like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's so good. We have some people on our Facebook too. Like they said, "Is this a studio recording?" There's no way it's live.
Oh, it's live and it's early.
very, very
And when you catch
early.
Anne Juliet, all right, it's going to sound even better.
Yeah.
I can't even tell you how good it sounds in the auditorium. The bass goes through your soul.
And
the
not
best
just that,
way.
with the costumes, with the set, you know, with that whole atmosphere. Everyone in the audience, I'm sure, is up and dancing and singing and waving their hands and everything else.
They
Oh,
are.
absolutely. They get in on it. Yeah.
The Singapore audiences are very polite. So,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
at the end we do a jig where, you know, Anne and Shakespeare get everyone up and, you know, Singaporeans are very kind of
Yeah.
like, oh no, there's people behind. But at the end when everything's happening, everyone's up and having a party.
You know, we're
and-
getting used to it now because years ago there was this really stupid rule here
We
in
were not
Singapore
allowed to.
where you're not allowed to stand up and dance.
No.
Even
Yes.
at a
Really?
concert.
Wow.
I was at a Michael Jackson concert and we were told to sit down.
This
Not
is like the
allowed
plot
to
of
stand up.
Footloose.
Yeah, not allowed.
It was all part of crowd control. So you went to a concert to
Right.
sit down and appreciate it, and it's only now that we're being allowed to come out of our shell.
Yeah.
So Singaporeans are still learning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you
Wow.
imagine how ridiculous that was?
That was ridiculous, but they're coming out of their shell
Yes,
at Marina Bay
please,
Sands.
yeah.
Everyone stand up!
Yeah.
All right, and get your tickets. Get your tickets. all
Yeah,
right, to
it's
Anne Juliet.
playing every weekend from Thursdays through to Sunday at Marina Bay Sands. We'll say that again.
All right. Tate McRae with Greedy right here on Kiss 92. All the great songs in one place. We have with us from Anne Juliet, Hayden T, as well as Casey Donovan. They play Lance and Angelique, respectively. And we've got Angelique Teo here.
Yeah, I'm an Angelique as well. We're so honored to have you here. Anne Juliet is, of course, playing at the Sands Theatre at Marina Bay Sands right now, Thursdays through to Sunday. The last weekend is the middle of October, 12th to the 15th of October. Now, it is a ridiculous number of numbers numbers that I'm looking at. In One More Try, for example, these are just some things that people should look out for when they're at the theaters. There's something like 1,998,786 stars in the sky. I don't know what that means. What does that mean? What, tell us more. All the stars?
Yeah, all of the stars.
1 million?
There's amazing
Those are the
projections.
numbers.
Yeah, the visionary in this show is just, it's next to nothing, and it's just, we watch it. Secretly, we never had screens in our dressing rooms in Melbourne, so we actually sit when we're not on stage and watch the show because there's so much magic, and it's stunning.
I've got another unbelievable stat here. The quickest quick change.
I was gonna say that.
1.6 seconds?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, who does that? And what are they changing into? Taking everything off, or
Juliet? Well, can I got no spoilers. It's the Juliet change in. Can I say the song?
No.
I don't want to be spoiled.
No.
At the end of the show,
Okay.
she changes out of her wedding gown, and there's a change.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's 1.6
1.6
seconds. It is like lights go. Yeah, it's done. It's amazing.
She just rips it off.
Yeah.
but these are
spectacular.
cool numbers because then anyone listening, can look out for these little
Yeah.
things that are happening. I mean, 1 million stars, 1.6 second change of clothes.
Yeah.
Now everyone needs to try that at home.
Oh goodness, Angelique has some quick changes, but there's so much to see. My partner has been to the show a lot of times. I'm sure she's paid someone's wage. But even coming to Singapore and watching it, there were things that she still didn't realize were happening on stage. I didn't see people on the ladders, and there is so much to watch in this show, as well as a beautiful show. There's just it's the whole crew and team together on this show have been nothing short of amazing.
And I wouldn't be surprised if people go down and catch Anne Juliet more than once.
There have been people that have travelled back from Melbourne to Singapore. They have grown up in Singapore, and they have followed this show, and they dress up every time, and it's so beautiful to see faces travelling to watch the show. It's beautiful.
Oh wow.
Oh, that's quite something.
So if you want to get your tickets, remember it's marinabaysands.com. You just have to look for the Anne Juliet banner. It is playing right now at the Sands Theatre at Marina Bay Sands. Tickets are selling fast. I mean, every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday through to the 15th of October.
All right. Thank you so much, Hayden. Thank you so much, Casey, for coming in this morning. We're going to be rooting for you guys. We're going to be seated in front either this Friday or next Friday.
The best seats.
All of us. We're going down as a team.
See you there.
Amazing.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much once again, Hayden T, as well as Casey Donovan.
Thank you.
Kiss. The Big Show.
Kiss.
92.